Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair. I'm Michelle. I'm the Analyst part of the show. This is Nycole. She's the Armchair. Today, we are going to get into week 9 of the NFL season. Listen, last week when we were on this show, we were talking about how we're going to the Texans 49ers game, and we were talking it up, and I was saying that the 49ers were going to beat up on the Texans. I'm pretty sure I predicted, 43-6? We went to the game.
It was 26-3, I believe is what you said.
Yeah. What did I just say?
40 something,
well,
which is crazy.
Listen, I would have thought that before what happened. And instead, the 49ers got beat up and they were never really in it, is really the disappointing part.
No, they weren't. Yeah.
It was never really that close of a game.
No, it wasn't. And it was so fun to be there. We had the best time.
It was
Did
fun.
a little tailgating and then went to the game, obviously. And it was a blast from the beginning until the end.
Well, because your team won.
Obviously, yes.
I still had a lot of fun, but she definitely did not let me live it down. She was in my face the whole time when the Texans would score.
Yeah, yeah, I was a little bit.
And the Texans fans around us were loving it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were an unfortunate number of 49ers fans.
Not around me.
Well, true. But there were so many at the game. And I just attribute that to Houston being such a big city.
Yeah.
And
also their team didn't get created to 2002. So a lot of these older fans already had teams they loved. So
right.
It's harder for them. But the Texans did it up at first when the game first started. It was loud for the 49ers side and they shut the fans up real fast. So
they really did.
And not only did your Texans beat my 49ers, but then you also destroyed me in our game picks last week.
Oh, yeah.
You went 11-2.
My best week yet.
11-2 in week 8. I went 8-5. My worst week yet?
Maybe.
Like percentage-wise?
Yeah.
It was my worst week yet.
Probably.
So you're coming back on the season because I was destroying you to start the first 4 weeks or so. But slowly you're making your way back. And that 11-2 week is doing real well for you.
I just needed things to level out a little bit more. And now I've got a good thing going.
You went against my 2 teams, the Steelers and the 49ers, and both worked out for you very well.
Listen, it was a bad week to be a Majuk. That's what I know.
It was
a bad week.
Yeah, and also, last little update here. Nycole did beat my dad in fantasy, so that's what she's saying. Dad out there, you can keep crying about being unlucky, but you did lose.
That's right. Another win for me. Put it down.
All right, we have week 9 game previews, and we'll get into all of our predictions and our thoughts on these games. At the end of the episode, we're going to give you our one hope and dream for our favorite trade that could happen in the NFL before the trade deadline that's coming up. But first, we have to get into the opening drive, which we hit on the latest NFL news.
The opening drive.
We need to give a little cheers, and it's to our boy Cam Scatterbo. All right, we need to
throw like a pour it out.
Yeah,
pour
situation. One out for him.
Not like a cheers,
but pour one out into our mouths, not on the ground.
Great.
Yeah, let's take a little pour one out for Cam Scatterbo.
Mm-hmm. Really unfortunate, I think. Obviously, it was gnarly looking.
Anything dislocated is disgusting, but dislocated ankle, brutal.
It was bad, and I had somewhere on some social media a still shot of it, and I was like, who would do that? That is it's just wrong.
I don't know why everything keeps giving thumbs up.
It just really likes us. I think it's you're doing a good job.
It really likes our thoughts.
Keep
today.
it going.
I don't know what's going. That's not us doing that. We're not giving thumbs up on Cam Scatterbo getting injured, but no. It sucks for Giants fans, right? They finally have this hope, and Jackson Dart looks so good, and you still have so much hope because getting the franchise quarterback is number 1. That's all you got to do. Right. Then they lost Malik Neighbors earlier in the year for the season. Now they lose Cam Scatterbo. However, it doesn't seem as bad as maybe we first thought, because I was like, he might not even be back next year.
Mhm.
But the latest reports after the surgery says he should be back in 4 to 6 months at the absolute latest.
Right.
So he should be ready for off-season training
Yeah.
for them and be back next year. So that's huge. And hopefully Malik Neighbors, can be back too. The Giants are looking up,
Mhm.
just not this year.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Carson Wentz is now also out for the season for the Vikings. Now, I think he probably would have been out for the season anyways, considering his recent play. But I mean, at least now he can blame it on that he was playing through injury.
Mhm.
But the last 3 games for him have been very, very bad.
They were really bad. And I mean, that last game, he was visibly hurting. So,
And even if he wasn't, he needed to pretend to be.
so good for him if he was.
No, but he underwent surgery. He's out for the year. I hope he has a quick recovery. But this is probably his last chance to be a starter and earn respect to get another job in the league. So that is sad for him.
Mhm.
JJ McCarthy will be back for the Vikings, and we'll see what he can do. This will be his 3rd NFL start. That's it.
Mhm.
So hopefully he can put it together. We'll talk about that later when we get to the Vikings-Lions game. Spencer Rattler is officially out as the starting quarterback for the Saints. They're going to go to Tyler Shook instead, their 2nd-round rookie quarterback. They're 1-7, and it took them this long to go to their 2nd-round quarterback. I have a feeling Tyler Shook has not looked that good in practice for them to take this long to move on from Spencer Rattler, who is not a guy that should be this hard to beat.
Mhm.
But they're moving on. I don't know really what this does for the Saints, but I guess now they can see what they have in him before they draft a quarterback early next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point in the season, you're 1-7. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So let him get some playing time. And
Can I
see
add
what
something? You have a
happens.
little bit something to lose. What if
Okay.
he's okay? He's slightly okay, like an Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders, and he starts winning a couple games, and then all of a sudden you don't have the 1st or 2nd overall pick next year, and you can't grab that quarterback. But Tyler Shook's not good enough to keep as your franchise quarterback. So that's the only reason I'm like, ooh, if you're not seeing enough from him in practice. But I get it. You spend a 2nd-round pick on him, so you got to see what you have.
Well, and here's the thing. They can figure that out in 2 or 3 games, right?
Yeah.
If he's okay, then they can decide, do we keep letting him do his thing?
Yeah,
or
but the thing is, if he starts
do
winning
we-
games, as okay, they can't be like, you're going to go to the bench now because we need to lose. Tanking is not allowed in the NFL.
Well, sure, but there's so many options, and too with the other teams that are playing so poorly right now, you also need them to keep losing.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of factors here.
And I don't
So-
think Tyler Shook's going to be good anyway. So I don't think Saints, as a Saints fan, you want them to keep losing.
Right.
Or you want Tyler Shook to be like Jackson Dart style, where you're like, oh, wow, we actually have faith in the future. Then, okay. But I don't see either of those 2 things happening. Now, Jaden Daniels back at practice.
Mhm.
Awesome for the Commanders. It looks
Yes.
like he could return this week. Lamar Jackson is officially going to be back on Thursday Night Football to beat up on the Dolphins. We'll get to that game in just a moment.
Mhm.
And the trade deadline is coming up, so we could start seeing a lot of moves here in the NFL right at that trade deadline. It's on Tuesday, November 4th. We will give you one guy that we want to see traded the most to a particular team. We will do that at the end of today's show, so stick around to hear what our biggest hopes are for that before the trade deadline.
Mhm.
But let's get into our game previews between the 20s. We'll get into that right now.
Between the 20s.
All right, let's start with the Thursday night football game. It is the Ravens at the Dolphins. And this game should be a blowout for
Right.
the Ravens.
Right.
Lamar Jackson is back. I get it. We said this last week about the Falcons. We said the Falcons should destroy the Dolphins. Falcons were at home, and it went the opposite way.
Mhm.
The Dolphins destroyed the Falcons. And this game is at home for Miami. But with the Ravens, they have too much talent on offense. Their defense has stepped up. I just don't see it going that way,
Yeah, and I don't know that for me, it's not necessarily about the Ravens defense. It's just how bad the Dolphins offense is, and how good the Ravens offense is. I mean, at the end of the day, if you take the defense out for both sides, who can score more points is going to win the game. And I think with Lamar Jackson coming back, they did sneak out that win last week against the Bears.
Mhm.
And so I think they're going to continue to build on that momentum. And Lamar wants and needs to be back. So I think this is definitely a must win for the Ravens.
Now, Lamar is from the Miami area,
Mhm.
and he is just destroyed them. I mean, he destroys many teams throughout his career, but this the Dolphins. He has a 142.7 career passer rating against the Dolphins, while averaging over 300 passing yards per game against them. He has 14 passing touchdowns to 1 interception in 4 games played against them. Like, absolutely destroys them. The Ravens, in the 4 games that Lamar Jackson has started against the Dolphins, they average 41 points per game.
Wow.
They average 478 total yards per game. It's so funny. It's like hilariously bad. And this is now we're talking about the Dolphins with like their worst defense that we've seen in so long.
Well, and it's interesting because it's coming at a time where the Ravens have no choice but to win. And I mean, quite frankly, if I was in their division, I would not be excited about this being the team that they get to come back and play after a bye.
Is that a dig at the Steelers?
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
No, I called last week that the Ravens are going to go on a 9-game winning streak and win the division. We're going to get to the Steelers game. I think I'm going to stupidly pick them. Spoiler alert, but we will get to that shortly. Let's get to the Chiefs and Bills, the best game of the week.
Of course.
And I'm shocked it's not a primetime game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they choose those things because I'm not a scheduler of NFL games, but you're right. Like this seems like, I mean, granted though, 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have said that. So
against the Chiefs and Bills, I feel like always going into this. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen.
Yeah, but the Chiefs started so bad this year.
I know, but now they're looking like the best team in the league.
Well,
Bills,
that's a little dramatic, but
who do you think is the best team in the league?
Well,
That's a fun little question.
I haven't decided yet.
Who
but
do you think's better
because
than the
again,
Chiefs right now?
Because here's the thing: I think this season, and I think we can all agree, has been wackadoodle. I mean, like I don't know who's good, who's not, and as soon as I say somebody's good, they lose to the Dolphins, and now I'm confused again. So I still think the Bills are on top. I think the Lions are very close to the top. I think the Packers are close to the top, right? Like there are some standout teams, and I don't know that I would just put the Chiefs automatically as number 1 right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think if I had to rank the best team in the league, I would go with the Chiefs, and I think that's why I'm picking the Chiefs in this game. You're picking the Bills.
Yep.
I'm not going to be surprised, however, this game turns out. I do expect it to be a very close game. I'm not going to be shocked if it comes down to whichever one of these quarterbacks gets the ball at the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
They can go back and forth, and whoever gets lucky enough to get this ball at the end wins the game. That's happened for a lot of their matchups, especially in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Now, the Bills have been much better against the Chiefs in the regular season. Mm-hmm. But honestly, they keep beating them in the regular season and losing in the postseason. Maybe this year they can lose in the regular season and beat them in the postseason.
Or they can just win both. You know, that would be a choice as well. I mean, the Bills have beat the Chiefs the last 4 straight games.
In the regular season.
In the regular seasons. The Bills are at home. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the Chiefs' luck has to run out sometime. I mean, Patrick Mahomes looked bad the first half of last week.
He did.
So.
But then he put it together. I will say, I am not like that. Their last 3 games, they did play very well against the Lions, but it was at home. If they did that to the Lions in Detroit, I'd say something else. The Lions offense on the road is just not the same, right? Mm-hmm. But you still have to give them credit for beating them 30-17. Mm-hmm. Like the Lions you just brought up as one of the best teams in the league. Mm-hmm. Then they killed the Raiders, but everyone does. And then they killed the Commanders, but only until the second half. It was 7-7. And that was with Marcus Mariota.
Right.
At quarterback. So I'm not like giving them a ton of credit. I will just say with Rashee Rice back and Xavier Worthy there and Juju and Hollywood Brown and Travis Kelce, like Patrick Mahomes has been on fire lately. Mm-hmm. He's looking like his MVP self. He's probably going to win MVP again this year, annoyingly. Their defense is playing very, very well. I think they're a really good all-around team. And the Bills have beat one team with a winning record this year.
Sure. Well, that's just been their schedule, but I don't know. See, and to me, that says more about the Bills playing down.
Oh, shoot. They don't even have a win against a team with a winning record. It's against their wins are against the Ravens in week 1 by 1 point. It was with Lamar. I'm going to give them that credit. I don't care what the Ravens record
Well,
is.
it was the first game. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody has a record at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about current winning records.
Right.
Then they beat the Jets, the Dolphins, the Saints, and the Panthers. Those are pretty bad. I mean, you can only play the games you play, but then they lost to the Patriots and they lost to the Falcons.
I just don't think that we've seen enough of them against good teams.
I think that's
Because
fair.
I think we would both have said at the beginning of the season the Patriots weren't going to be as good as they are,
Mhm.
and that the Falcons were going to be better than they are.
Mhm.
So, do we really know how good or bad the Bills are? I think maybe we can answer that after this week.
The Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites.
On the road?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they're the favorites right now in the league to win it all because they're putting it all together.
I don't like that. I don't agree.
I mean,
It's not even that I don't like it, but like I don't like it from a data perspective.
Yeah, I fully think this game's very close to 50-50. I'm not going to be surprised either way, like I said. So I don't love betting on the Chiefs with negative points. But I will, if I had to pick a winner, I'm picking the Chiefs. But
I'm picking the Bills.
All right. Let's move to the next game. Vikings-Lions. This is much easier. But
Much.
whenever we say that, we will be surprised.
Wah,
But no,
wah, wah.
Vikings-Lions. The Lions are at home, which makes you feel really good about that. They are 8.5 point favorites. JJ McCarthy is starting for the Vikings. We've seen very little of him so far. I mean,
what, 8 quarters?
literally.
And right. And 1 good quarter.
And 7 atrocious
So
ones.
statistically, not good.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, he's coming back from an injury. Hopefully he's all good to go. But he's starting again on the road in Detroit. I can't imagine the Lions losing to a confused, let's say, Vikings team. And Aiden Hutchinson just got his contract extension. Their losses have come on the road, the Lions, against the Packers and the Chiefs, 2 teams that we just said are arguably, top 4 in the league right now. And so I think this game will again just solidify the Lions as a front runner in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean, last year the Vikings were 14-3. They were one of the best teams in the league.
Mhm.
2 of their 3 losses came against the Lions.
With your favorite quarterback.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. Yeah, hey, you know what? He's looking okay. He's looking okay.
Can't wait.
Except I'm still picking against him this week. Now, this is the big thing for me. The Lions are home, which is where they thrive. They're averaging a gazillion points per game at home. The exact point per game at home is 36.7 points per game at home this year. But since last season, since the start of last season, 36 points per game at home as well, first in the NFL by over 2 points per game. So you get them at home. They're great. I just don't think JJ McCarthy and this Vikings offense is going to be able to stick with them. And the Vikings defense the last 2 weeks have been really bad. I mean, They allowed 37 points to the Chargers last week. They allowed 38 or 28 to the Eagles the week prior and a ton of yards. So this seems like a Lions win. Pretty easily.
Yeah, I think
now by 8.5 points. Yes. They're 8.5 point favorites, and I'm going to take it.
That's probably the right call. I don't know, because we don't know enough, in my mind, about JJ McCarthy to know how he's going to come out. So is he going to come out really excited and ready to play that 1 quarter of football that he did?
Yeah.
Maybe. And I'm sure Justin Jefferson would be stoked about it.
Yeah, you're talking about that 1 quarter. That 1 quarter was the 4th quarter in week 1, and he had 3 touchdowns, no giveaways in that quarter.
Mm-hmm.
In the other 7 quarters, 0 touchdowns and 3 turnovers.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm taking the Lions.
This is not us saying JJ McCarthy's going to be bad in the NFL. It's been 2 starts.
Right.
He has plenty of time to be better. It's just we don't know yet. And when you're going up against a team with the Lions, with the experience they have and the record they have and the talent they have, that's going to be very, very hard.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm taking 8.5 points too.
I can't decide on that, but I am taking the Lions. So I don't know if I would take that line.
Okay. Next game, Broncos versus Texans.
Oof.
Your Texans.
Oof.
Are you going to take the Broncos or the Texans?
Let me just say, I am so proud of the Texans.
Oh my God. They still have a losing record. Relax.
Stop. Well, so did you last week. No, I'm just kidding. So I I feel like it was the first time I was like, okay, like there's a breath of fresh air here. The defense is always really good, but I was very proud of CJ getting the ball to a bunch of guys that, quite frankly, I didn't know some of them, right? Because Nico's out, Tank Dell's still not back, Christian Kirk was out. Like it just kind of seemed like on offense, like we didn't have a lot going on, and they did very well. So I was very proud of them. I do have them winning again this week against the Broncos at home. I'm nervous about this pick. I'm going to be honest because they were running, I think, like a 6-man offensive line a lot last week, and I don't know that they can do. I don't know that that's sustainable, but I think that's almost what you have to do against this Broncos defensive line. I think they're just so scary, and if they can get to CJ a couple times and sack him early, I think that's going to be very bad start for the Texans. But they have to continue to score. They can't continue to play this field goal game. Pat Surtain is out, so hopefully that's obviously good for the Texans. Nico hopefully will be back. I don't know if he's
like
out
he
of
should be.
concussion protocol,
Yeah.
but I'm sticking with the Texans defense at home against Bo Nix on the road.
I get all your points, and I was very wishy-washy with this pick. Like, again, this is very much a 50-50 pick for me. I'm going to go with the Broncos only because I trust Sean Payton and his offense to just be able to put up points a little bit more consistently than the Texans can. And if this game was in Denver, I would easily take the Broncos.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
To be honest.
The Broncos offense is so much better at home than on the road. So that gave me some hesitation. But both of these defenses are so incredibly good. Texans are thriving right now, but so are the Broncos. And I get they won't have Pat Surtain, but what they do have is the best pass rushing group in the league with the most sacks, the most quarterback hits, the most quarterback pressures. We know the Texans line is not good, right? They're getting a little bit better. They are. They're gelling a little bit more.
They are.
But I just don't think that Stroud is going to have the time against this defense to put up enough points. Like, I think it's going to be a very low scoring game. I just think the Broncos score a little bit more, like a field goal more. And this, I mean, Vegas expects it to be a close game. They have the Texans as 1.5 point favorites. But I'm going to take the Broncos with those plus 1.5, but also just the Broncos in general to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one very much could come down to a field goal.
Yeah, probably.
So
it all comes down to, Stroud has been very good under pressure the last few weeks. Can he keep that up?
I sure hope so.
Yeah. I'll be rooting for the Texans.
Good, as you should.
Yeah. Another game we disagree on, and another game that could be I don't feel like strong about my argument. I just disagree on it, right? Falcons, Patriots. You're picking the Patriots. I'm picking the Falcons. It seems so stupid to pick the Falcons right now because they just, got beat up by the Dolphins 34-10. Earlier in the year, they lost 30-0 against the Panthers. Like, I get it. They have been a disappointment. They lost the last 2 weeks. They lost to the 49ers with Mac Jones 20-10. But last week when they lost to the Dolphins, for whatever reason, they were like, let's not use Bijan Robinson.
Right.
That was stupid. They didn't have Michael Penix Jr. They didn't have Drake London. Hopefully they'll have both of those guys back. They are considered day-to-day right now with their injuries. So hopefully they'll both be back. And I know Drake May has been so good. He really has. I think Drake May is going to be great in this league. But the schedule has been incredibly weak for the Patriots. Like their 5-game winning streak outside of the Bills, which if we're going to give the Patriots love for beating the Bills by 3 points, we have to give the Falcons love for beating up on the Bills and making it not even a game. I know the end score was 10 points that they won by against the Bills, but it was never really a close game.
Right.
So they both beat the Bills this year. And the other Patriots wins were against the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Saints, the Titans, and the Browns. And the Browns game was at home. The Browns defense sucks on the road. So good at home. There's really not an impressive win outside of that Bills win by 3 points. And the same thing you could say about the Falcons. Sure, they beat the Vikings, the Commanders, and the Bills. I think the Vikings Commanders wins are a lot more impressive than the other wins I just said against the Patriots.
Sure.
And they beat up on the Bills. And I just utilize Bijan Robinson in the passing game because the Patriots are really good against the run, but just stay away from the run and use them in the passing game.
Well, this is one of those games that's tricky, right? We talk about this every week. There's these games that are like, well, on paper it feels like, but this one it could go either way, like you said. Drake May is leading the NFL in his completion percentage.
He's so good,
right? He's so good. Does that have to do more with him and his offense and everybody behind him, or does that have to do more with the defense? I think we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
Like the defenses they're playing.
Probably a little bit of both.
Sure.
It's a good team.
But Patriots have won 5 straight. This one is at home in New England. As long as the Patriots run defense can continue to be elite and shut down Bijan Robinson, I don't know that you have to do much more to beat the Falcons, quite honestly.
No, and their defense is great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think here it just feels like it feels risky to take the team that's not at home, especially when the Falcons just lost to the Dolphins pretty handily.
I think about NFL scripts so much, like about like what happens every week, and I'm like,
Nerd.
this is such a this is such a setup where everyone's like, the Patriots are so good, and the Falcons just got destroyed by the Dolphins, and no one's giving the Falcons a second of hope. And right now, the Falcons are 5.5-point underdogs. I think that's one of the best bets of the week. Plus 5.5, take it. I think the Falcons have a very good shot of winning, let alone the 5.5 points.
Well,
and this just seems like a setup for a letdown where the Patriots are feeling so good about themselves and the Falcons are like, we need to prove it. And that's a lot of it comes down to emotion in these games, like the players who want to try the hardest. But I just feel it for the Falcons this week. And I hope, I just wish I could be a coach this week. Don't try to run it too much. Just use Bijan Robinson in a short passing game as your running attack. The Patriots have allowed the most receptions to running backs this year. Do that. Bijan's outside of Christian McCaffrey is the best pass catching back in the league.
Well, listen, I hope their offensive coordinator is listening to us right now and taking that into consideration.
Hopefully. Well, no, he's going to just play Tyler Algier all the time and hate us for no reason. 49ers, Giants. 49ers, I'm begging you, get your life together, please. Please.
She is devastated after last week, y'all.
So we know the 49ers have been through so many injuries. You know what's really unfortunate, Nycole?
What's that?
MetLife Stadium, where the Giants play, where this game is like known for the worst injuries ever.
Oof.
It's like the worst field for injuries. So really great for 49ers players who are already destroyed. Brock Purdy could come back, and it's like some fans do not want him to come back for the fact that MetLife Stadium is the worst. But Mac Jones says come back down to life, right?
That seems like one of those weird like NFL superstition.
No, everyone gets hurt. I mean, Malik Neighbors tore his ACL this year. Everyone gets hurt.
Can't they just like redo the ground?
Cam Scatterbu got hurt last week on the roads. That wasn't MetLife Stadium's fault, but so many terrible injuries have happened at MetLife Stadium.
That seems like conspiracy theory.
No, it's the turf. It's so
that's what I'm saying. Like something is wrong.
Oh yeah,
clearly.
it's the turf. Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
So why can't they just redo it?
They should.
It's the NFL. They have millions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, they're still cheap.
Well. Anyways,
is
Brock coming back? I don't know.
We don't know.
Mac Jones looked like a human. Well, I think he's looked human this whole time, right? Like he's not like, I hate to say it, but like Daniel Jones-esque, right? My God, who would have thought we were saying that 9 weeks ago? But, Mac Jones looked like just a guy throwing a football last week. So
this is the thing where people get really excited about some backups, like Carson Wentz when he first came in. Like people are going to get excited about Joe Flacco, and he's going to come back down to life. I thought about Daniel Jones, but there's some expectations, like the Daniel Jones, like the Sam Darnold, like the Geno Smith when he was with the Seahawks, like they keep it going a little bit. But with Mac Jones, first 3 starts, fantastic. Last 3 starts, he has 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. His passing yards per game have dropped by 70 yards per game.
And that's with getting weapons back on offense.
Yeah, he got George Kittle back. Yeah. So they need Brock Purdy back. They need Ricky Pearsall back too. They lost their center, which Jake Brundle stinks anyways. So I don't think that's a big deal. But like they need to get healthier in offense because their defense is so banged up. Yeah. Fred Warner and Nick Bosa are not coming back. And without Fred Warner, especially. Like, I think he's even a bigger loss than Nick Bosa. This defense is going to give up a lot of points. Now, it's a mixed review right now if Brock Purdy will be back or not. If Brock Purdy's back, I feel pretty good about them beating the Giants.
Well, and the story here too is the Giants offense.
I mean,
right?
they're also
like,
banged up. Yeah.
They're so banged up. You had Scadaboo, who was him, and Jackson Dart started, really getting into rhythm. He's gone now. And so it's like, who is Dart going to give it to?
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, and, for a 49ers defense that's so banged up, it's kind of the perfect recipe for them of like, let's just go and execute whatever our game plan is. We don't even have to like necessarily pressure Jackson Dart because there's nowhere for him to go with the ball. So I think this is a good time for the 49ers to play the Giants and go and get a win on the road.
No, I'm with you. And just lean on Christian McCaffrey, no matter who the quarterback is. And if Brock Purdy's back, he will lean on George Kittle as well, which George Kittle could destroy this Giants defense. Please trade me George Kittle in fantasy. I've been trying to get her to trade me him for the last 3 weeks, and she will not budge.
I mean, listen, my team is 6-2. Why am I trying to mess up a good thing?
Well, they're not 6-2 because of George Kittle.
No, but he doesn't hurt my team.
I looked at your team, and your team stinks. So trade me George Kittle, and I'll help you.
Says what?
Shut up.
3-5.
She gets so lucky, guys. She scores no points and wins. I don't know what to tell you. Like this past week, I scored 120 points. She scored 100, but she played the worst team in the league, my father. And second worst team.
I was going to
say
my
wife's is the worst team.
She's the worst.
and then I had to play the best team in the league. That scored 160
Let me ask you,
points.
do you think fantasy is luck or do you think it's strategy?
It's a little bit of both.
If you had to choose one.
The regular season,
I'm baiting you. Just answer the question.
It's 50-50.
That's not.
It's
okay.
50-50. It's 50% luck.
Okay.
50% luck.
Well, guess what? Last
skill.
year, I got real lucky and was real strategic because I won this league.
You definitely have to play the waivers and you have to be active. You're not going to win.
Yeah, but I also think you can Sorry, now we're going to talk about fantasy for a second. You can overplay the waivers too, though.
I've done that.
Because here's the thing. At a certain point, you have to trust the guys that got you there, especially getting closer to playoffs. Like if you're winning games, if you have the opportunity to go to the playoffs in fantasy, trust the guys that got you there. Thank you, David Bernstein, for that.
She wins one championship and acts like she's an expert.
Okay. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to go back to back this year.
Yeah.
And if I do, you're going to do something real silly.
No, if you do, you're kicked out of the league. Because
anyway, win for the 49ers.
Yeah. Moving on to
Hopefully.
my other team, the Steelers. I don't know who's causing me more hurt this year. The Steelers are, because their defense this is the thing. If it was their offense stinking, I'd be like, you know what? I've lived this life. I get it.
Sure.
You're the highest paid defense in the league. You're the highest paid unit in the league, and you're bottom 3 defense in the league. And if the Cowboys didn't exist, you probably would be the worst defense in the league by far.
And Ravens, but yes.
No, the Ravens have stepped up the last couple of weeks. Oh, I would love to have the Ravens defense right now.
I know. Oh, that's a weird thing to say.
But the Steelers play the Colts, unfortunately, the number 1 offense in the league this year. And they're thriving with Daniel Jones. Who, like, the NFL is so random. Daniel Jones is thriving. He's killing it. The Colts are the number 1 offense in points per game, points per drive, total yards per game, yards per play. They have Jonathan Taylor, who is unstoppable.
Yes.
But it's also even Daniel Jones. It's like, it's not just his stats. It's like watching him. You're like, who is this guy? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I say all that, and I'm taking the Steelers. And you're taking the Colts.
I'm taking the Colts. I mean, the Steelers' defense is embarrassing. I think we can all agree that Aaron Rodgers is better than we thought he would be.
Yep. He can score. Like, they can put up 30 points.
They can score.
Yeah.
Now, I prefer when he's throwing interceptions because it's fun to watch for me. But, like, that's the thing about the Steelers that's, like, confusing this year, because they do come. I mean, you look at their brand, you look at their jersey, you look at their coach, and you're like, defense. That's what that screams to me. And their defense is so bad this year. And like you said, highest paid, all the things. And it's almost like when you think like something's a given, that you don't have to like work at it anymore. right? And I think that's kind of what the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, quite frankly, have fallen into, is that like, no, our identity is we're defense, but like nobody's playing that way. And so I think they're going to go on a sad little losing streak here after losing last week to the Packers.
And they
which-
lost against the Bengals week before.
Right. So I think they're just kind of in that defensive slump right now against an offense that is crushing it. So, I think the Steelers have allowed more than 30 points the last 2 weeks. Not good going into a game against Daniel Jones and the Colts. So I'm taking the Colts. Good luck.
I'm taking the Steelers, and I know I'm the analyst part of the show, and nothing this comes down to stats or a reasonable analysis, but it does come down to me being a Steelers fan for the entire Mike Tomlin era, and even a little bit before that. But this is what happens. Games are supposed to win. Mike Tomlin's going to let you down and barely win or lose. And when they are given no hope, like they're going to be given this week, they're going to win. The defense is going to step up. They're going to play lights out. They're going to be actually motivated for once. Mike Tomlin's going to be an actual good coach for once. They're going to win this game. They're going to give you hope again. And then in a couple weeks from now, they'll fall apart again against a really bad team. This is the whole cycle that goes over and over and over again. So I actually feel pretty confident that they're going to win this game.
Wow.
Just because this is what the Steelers do.
Right.
They win games they're not supposed to. And when on Sunday morning, every analyst on TV is going to pick Colts. When that happens, the Steelers win every single time.
Well, for your sake and your picks this week, I hope you're
right. So the Steelers
are
3-point underdogs this week. Take 3 points. And you are welcome. Seahawks, Commanders. I'm taking the Commanders. I'm taking your Commanders. And you're going against them. You're taking the Seahawks. The Seahawks are the better team this year. 5-2. Commanders are 3-5. Commanders have lost 3 straight games.
And I'm not happy about it. I'm actually very sad about it. Because I picked them. No, I didn't pick them against the Chiefs. Sorry. But
that was the right pick.
Well, I know, but I still don't feel good about it, even when I know I'm right. This matchup should be very fun. If Jaden Daniels comes back and can play and is looking healthy and everything, this is a great, fun quarterback / wide receiver matchup game. You've got Jaden Daniels throwing to Terry McLaurin, and then you've got Sam Darnold, your favorite quarterback ever, throwing to JSN, right? So that should be the fun storyline. Honestly, could be a really good game. Seahawks defense, though, to me, has the much upper hand.
Yeah.
I picked them because of the defense. Like I said, I think the offenses are more or less. I actually think when Debo's playing, the Commanders have more options on offense than the Seahawks. But I'm afraid of JSN against this Commanders defense. Lattimore stresses me out. If he could just stop getting so many penalties and just put his little hands up and don't touch anybody, I think I would feel a lot better. But yeah, I had to go Seahawks here.
You weren't happy with Lattimore's interception last week? That was pretty sick.
It was great. It was super great. But like one great play doesn't make, and he needed it, right? Like he had just having a hard time with penalties and stuff. So he needed it. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. I just don't think I will be.
My reason I'm going with the Commanders is not only because they're home, but also they need it so bad. They're 3-5. They need this win a lot more than the Seahawks. They get Jaden Daniels back. It's been Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin have barely been able to play together this year. Mm-hmm. That's going to be huge for that connection back with Debo. They're 2, so they finally are all 3 back together. I think that'll be big. And the whole thing with the Seahawks is just stop Jackson Smith-Njigba. And clearly it's not easy because the Texans, I was saying before the Seahawks bye week, like they have Derek Stingley. And if he can stop JSN, there's nobody else. And they couldn't stop JSN. So I don't know how the Commanders will, but hopefully their offense can stick with them. I'm going to go with the Commanders. Again, I do think this will be close, but the Commanders are 3-point underdogs at home. I like the 3 points.
Again, I think this one will be back and forth if the offenses do what I think they're going to do. And honestly might take it the other way.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. The rest of the games we're going to go through are pretty bad ones, so we'll run through these. Jaguars versus the Raiders are both coming off the bye. For some reason, I'm excited about this game, but it's because of the running backs. I want to see what Travis Etienne and Ashton Genty can do after the bye week, which will be key. We are facing off in bringing it back to fantasy. We're facing off together.
And
this
we
week.
traded for the two of them.
Yeah, exactly. I traded her Etienne. She traded me Ashton Genty. This was back in like week 4, I think.
I
right
believe
before Genty had his massive game. But
sounds
I'm going to take the Raiders. You're going to take the Jaguars. I get why you're taking the Jaguars. The Raiders stink, right?
Mhm.
They have 2 wins this year, surprisingly against the Patriots in week 1. But that's like when teams aren't set. And then against the Titans, everyone wins, right? But then you look at the Jaguars wins against the Panthers in week 1, against the Texans when they can only put up 10 points, against the 49ers. That was actually with Brock Purdy and not Mac Jones. So I guess that's a good win. And against the Chiefs. So their wins are definitely more impressive for sure. But I think out of this bye, Pete Carroll is going to figure out a way to utilize Ashton Genty. Oh my God. Use him better in the passing game, especially.
Or don't.
And the Jaguars are in love with getting penalties. They do not get very many takeaways. They have 0 takeaways over the last 2 weeks. Actually, they were pretty good at getting turnovers on defense, but the last 2 games, 0. And their defense is not good at getting sacks. So if they can't pressure Geno Smith, I think that could be good. And the key here, the Raiders get back Brock Bowers. I think that's huge.
I mean, it's good for them. I just don't. I think Geno's going to continue to throw interceptions. Even though I know you said the Jags don't really get turnovers. Blah,
well,
blah,
they
blah.
did the first.
Well, sure. Games. I guess the last 2 weeks. But why is no one talking about how bad the Raiders actually are? You know, like we even do it too. We dog on the Dolphins. We dog on the Saints, the Jets,
the Titans,
right?
Yeah.
The Titans. But like the Raiders are just as bad, if not worse, because of the amount of like quote unquote weapons they have on offense.
Geno Smith needs to not just turn over the ball every 5 seconds.
Geno Smith, exactly. And so while I think the Jags are like questionably bad, I think the Raiders are so much worse. And the Jags, as long as they can figure out a way to get Etienne the ball, because he has been underutilized, Brian Thomas Jr., same thing. If they can figure out those guys and getting them the ball, I think this is a Jags win for sure.
Yeah, it'll be close. Vegas thinks so as well. The Raiders are 3-point underdogs at home. I'm taking the 3 points because I think they're going to win. But you're taking the Jags, and I mean, 3 points isn't that much.
No.
So
it'll probably be a close garbage game.
Yeah. Cardinals, Cowboys. I will say right away, if this game was in Arizona, I would be taking the Cardinals. But with it being in Dallas, I have to take the Cowboys. There's certain teams that are just so much better at home. That's the Cowboys. That's the Lions. That's the Broncos. Like, that's the Packers. And the Cowboys really, really their defense sucks no matter where they are.
Sure.
But their offense at home is so good. I just don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to keep up.
I totally agree with you. I think the Cowboys win this game. But can we talk about how bad people just destroyed you on social media this week? When I tell you guys, if you don't follow us on socials, you should.
Yeah.
Because you could have seen.
Go to our TikTok,
the
Analyst in the Armchair, and they
came.
I got ratioed hard.
And there was a picture of her face, y'all, in a comment. And I just was rolling because I was like, oof. Because she was talking about those Cowboys last week and how they were just going to score so many points. And it was so great just to watch all of the comments and such. So if you want a good laugh, you should go read those comments and follow us on socials. But I agree with you. I think for this game, the Cardinals are just like, I have nothing to say about them, quite frankly. And the Cowboys coming off of that game last week with Dak throwing the 2 interceptions, hilarious. I think they're going to win at home, and then that'll be that. I don't know that this is going to be a good game, quite frankly.
Yeah, at home this year, they're averaging 41 points per game. They have 0 losses. They do have a tie to the Packers, but they've been so good at home. this throughout Dak Prescott's career. There's something like about the dome. He just thrives in it.
Mm-hmm.
The CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Javonte Williams and Jake Ferguson, they're going to put up points against this Cardinals offense or defense. Now, I do think the Cardinals offense will be able to put up points against this terrible Dallas defense.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I don't think they can put up 40 points. Right. And Kyler Murray's just not, if he's back, just not trustworthy enough for that. The Cardinals have 2 wins this year, and it's against the Saints and the Panthers.
Right.
Not great. So I do think the Cowboys at home take care of business. I do have a fun little stat to leave you with on this game. Cowboys are the first team since the 1950 New York Yankees. New York Yankees was an NFL team in 1950 to average 30 plus points per game and allow 30 plus points per game in a season. 1950.
So really
New
good
York
offense and really bad defense.
Yeah. Sorry, they weren't Yankees or Yanks. So
same difference.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
You're from the north. I don't know.
I'm a Yank.
That's right.
I say my A's weird. Talent.
I was just going to say talent. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay. Bears and the Bengals. I'm taking the Bears. And for whatever reason, you're taking the Bengals.
Because, and you know this, I don't like Caleb Williams. I don't think their offense can get anything and put it together. They lost to the 1-5 Ravens with a third string quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game, it's not even about how much I don't like the Bears. It's how much I like the Bengals in this matchup.
Okay.
Obviously Flacco is questionable, right now. We don't know if he's going to play, but Chase Brown has been so much better since he's gotten there. Obviously Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, the other one that I can't think of right now. Like they've just been better offensively with Joe Flacco instead of Jake Browning. So I think if he plays, I think they've got a good thing going for him. It's in Cincinnati. And they've scored over 33 points the last 2 weeks with Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bears, however, on offense, and the Bears defense is fine. Like, I think they're fine. But the Bears have only scored more than 26 points in one game this year. And that was with 31 points. The last 2 games, the Bengals have 33 or more. So I think if they can just continue that momentum on offense, they don't even have to worry about the Bears.
This is my thing. I agree with you on the offense if Joe Flacco plays. But also, even if you play, so it's an AC joint sprain, and I do think Joe Flacco will play because this is how desperate this team is for not to have Jake Browning back there. It's on his throwing arm. So if he plays, he's going to get shot up. Sure, it probably it's all pain related, but also like how accurate can you be? How powerful can you be with your arm when it has a literal sprain on it? Have you ever sprained anything? You can't do anything. I never sprained my shoulder, so I don't know what it feels like, but I have sprained my wrist and you can't turn it. Like you literally can't,
Sure.
No matter what you want to do, it just doesn't do things that you need it to do. So that's my one thing. But even if this offense is good, we saw the offense put up 38 points against the Jets last week, and they still lost because the defense is so incredibly bad. So I think with this defense being so bad, even though I'm with you, Caleb Williams has not been performing this year. He's, but this defense is so bad. He's going to be able to put up points, and DeAndre Swift is going to be able to run all over them.
I think too, though, you have to think about this for the Bengals. Do they have a chance to make the playoffs and get Joe Burrow back?
They would have if they beat the Jets last week.
Because if I'm Zach Taylor,
mm-hmm.
that is what I'm preaching every single game.
Yeah. Well, that's what you should have been preaching last week against the 0-7 Jets.
Listen, you even said they had to win eventually.
Yeah.
So why not last week? The Jets had to win eventually. So to me, this game, if I'm Zach Taylor and the coaching staff, that's what I'm preaching is like, we have to win enough games to get to the playoffs so that we can get our guy back. And I think if they're thinking about that, then
they're going to try as hard as possible. They just don't have the personnel.
I don't know. I don't think some teams are trying, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Steelers defense.
My goodness. Next game, Panthers versus Packers. We're both picking the Packers, obviously, just straight up, but they are 13.5-point favorites. We'll get to if we take those points, but Packers have been beating up on teams. They have 4 games decided by over 2+ possessions this year. They have been thriving after their bye week. Jordan Love, I have to admit, is having a career year. Getting back Christian Watson last week was pretty big as well. Tucker Kraft is thriving. Their defense is doing so well with Parsons. It does look like Bryce Young could be back for the Panthers. He's back at practice. But with this being on the road in Green Bay, and Bryce Young has been so up and down this year anyways, I don't see the Panthers being able to do anything.
I don't either, and I would take the spread.
Yeah, because also, can I tell you something? I'm so annoyed with the Panthers coaching staff. Y'all were thriving, utilizing Rico Dowdle, thriving on his back. And then Chuba Hubbard comes back. And you're like, he needs to get his touches. Why? The dude sucks. He sucks.
Whoa.
He's averaging one of the fewest yards per carry on the year. After coming back from injury, it's only gotten worse. While Rico Dowdle is still thriving. But you're like, no, we need to give it to Hubbard for whatever reason. Give the ball to Rico Dowdle. And maybe you'll have a shot against the Packers. But no, you want to put Rico Dowdle on the bench for whatever reason for half the game, and you deserve to lose. And that's why you've lost the last couple of games. So good job, coaches. You suck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We should have had a rant session.
I don't even love Rico Dowdle in general, but like he's been so good this year.
Yeah, it's a
and
bad
all of
move.
a sudden Hubbard comes back from injury and you're like, you forget about you winning 2 games with him by utilizing him nonstop. And you don't look at the stats and see, wow, Dowdle's so much better. Oh, I hate coaches sometimes. I hate them. Anyways, Packers are
Hire
going to
her,
win.
somebody hire her.
Packers are probably going to win. I'd probably take the points, 13.5.
Yep.
Yeah. Chargers, Titans. I mean, is there ever a need to talk about a Titans game unless you have a colossal meltdown like the Cardinals at the end of the game and mess up everything you possibly can?
Sure. Yeah, I think the Chargers, I mean, and we've talked about it. They look so much different with Joe Alt on the fields. They looked, again, like week 1, 2, 3 Chargers last week. So I'm definitely taking the Chargers here on the road. I don't know what the spread is, but I would probably take it.
It's less than I would have thought. 8.5. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. They just lost to the Colts last week by 24 points. They lost to the Patriots the week before by 18 points. They lost to the Raiders by 10 points. And the Chargers are only needing 8.5. So yes, please. They are only game that they won. I mean, they lost to the Colts again by 21, the Texans by 26, the Broncos by 8. Like, you can keep going on. Yeah, they came back against the Cardinals because the Cardinals made the stupidest mistakes you could ever make. I'm taking this, like you said, Joe Alt's back. Kamani Vidal's doing it up in the backfield as a 3rd string running back that's now up. Yeah, I mean, they're going to win.
Yep.
Yeah. Last game of the week, Saints against the Rams, and another bad game. So we're going to take the Rams. Tyler Shook is starting. Maybe he surprises us. Maybe he's amazing.
Maybe, but it's in LA. And I don't see that happening.
Luckily, like when you go to LA's kind of like it's not really like a scary place to play for any team. But
sure.
The Saints have won 1 game this year.
Yep.
Now it was against the Giants. Good win. But I don't know. Alvin Kamara's doing nothing.
Is coming back,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not good for the Saints.
Yeah, we're both taking the Rams pretty easily. Let me look at the spread here because it's easy to say the Rams. But let's say if we take the spread, 14.5 points. Wow. I don't know if I take that, actually. 14.5 points.
That's more than 2 touchdowns. Woof.
Yeah. I mean, when you're talking about the Packers at 13.5 I would rather take the Chargers at 14.5 over the Titans than I'm not going to touch that. And obviously you're not going to bet on just the Rams winning, but maybe you just stay away from that game because this game's going to suck.
Yep.
And the Rams, we do expect to win, but if they win by 10, I mean, yeah. But that's it for our game previews. We still have our 2-minute warning where we're going to talk about the trade deadline that's coming up and one trade we are desperate to see before the deadline hits. We'll get into that right now.
2-minute warning.
All right, we have the trade deadline coming up on Tuesday, right after week 9. It's on November 4th, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully we'll see some fun trades happen across the league. Nycole, what's one trade you want to see before we hit that deadline?
Okay. I'm going Chris Olave to the Bills. Okay.
Would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's being underutilized in New Orleans. There's no reason for New Orleans to feel like they need to keep him, quite frankly. They need to reassess what they're doing in every capacity. And I'd love to see the Bills get another weapon on offense. And so he's too good to be sitting in New Orleans with questionable quarterbacks at best, quite frankly. And I'd love to see him shine somewhere else. I mean, he is doing well in New Orleans, but definitely being underutilized for his talents. And he'd be just another great target for Josh Allen. So that's what I would like to see.
Yeah. And I don't even know if underutilized is the right word, but not
appreciated.
Yeah. And not the utilization he does get is not worthy enough, right? It's just all bad. It's all bad work there. And they have so much work to grow and to get their cap situation under control. And they're not going to be able to afford Chris Olave for what he's worth here really soon. So I'm with you. And I would the Bills have tried with Keon Coleman. They've tried with Khalil Shakir. They need to get a true wide receiver one after letting go of Stephon Diggs. So I would absolutely love that. I'm going with Trey Hendrickson. He needs to get traded. There is no reason the Bengals are going to hold on to him. They have a bad record. Their defense stinks with or without him. And he's a free agent after this year, a full free agent. So you're going to get nothing for him. Now, you'll get your compensation pick or whatever in a couple of years from now, but trade him now and be able to get picks for next year and help when you have Joe Burrow back, and trade him to my 49ers, please, because they're desperate for pass rushers right now with Nick Bosa going down and so many of the players of the defensive line being injured. And without Nick Bosa, they don't have a pass rush. So have this as a 1-year rental. If they don't want to pay him next year, then fine. Go trade the Bengals a 3rd-round pick, have him as a 1-year rental, and get to the playoffs with Trey Hendrickson. He actually gives you a real shot on defense to have a real great player back there again with Bosa, with Fred Warner out. So that's my please happen trade.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like it.
That is it for today's episode. We thank you all. We hope all of our game picks are right. Well, all of my game picks are right. We hope all your favorite teams win, unless I picked against them. And we will be back with you next week to talk about week 10. Don't miss it. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next time.